Mountain residents who have cleared their property of pine needles and other debris in preparation for fire season may be startled by the dozens of slash piles still littering neighboring Forest Service lands. The piles of branches and dry leaves range from small to medium to this 14 by 40 foot monolith located within a mile of two mountain communities. Resting among, and in some cases directly against live trees, the piles present a significant fire hazard.
Looking at the piles down on 138 that are fairly large, maybe 14, 15 feet tall and fairly large in diameter, they represent a larger fire load in the forest than would normally be there. It's part of a project of the thinning of the forest, but as it sets longer into fire season and gets drier and the winds come up, and we have winds coming from the northeast at the backside of the community, they pose the threat of having a larger fire in one location that could get into the trees and make a bigger problem.
Ironically, the slash piles are part of an effort by the Forest Service to reduce fire hazards around the San Bernardino mountain communities. Although nearby signs state timber sale area, the tree removal is a non-commercial program called the Miller Canyon Fuel Reductions Project. The program focuses on removing dead and diseased trees and thinning trees less than 12 inches in diameter where tree density poses a fire risk.
We started the Miller Canyon project about 3 years ago. There's a total of about 1,800 acres of ground that we're treating in Miller Canyon, all the way from Lake Silverwood up to Crestline, Dart Canyon, and over to Deer Lodge Park. What's really the reason those piles are still there is that there's a limited operating period, or an LOP, for the California spotted owl. The highway runs within very close to several nest stands, and between February and basically August 15th, we can't work near the nest stands because of the Endangered Species Act, and we're really trying to create and benefit the owls in the area. So we don't work there during those times.
A 2006 biological assessment of the project's potential impacts lists the spotted owl as one of several sensitive species found in the project area. The report calls for noise buffer zones during the spotted owl's breeding season, February through mid-August.
I really appreciate the fact that the Forest Service has done this project and that the contractors diligently work through to get it done. And these piles are a process where they cut the slash, they stack the slash, they put the slash at one location and the pile gets bigger. Even one of the piles down at Old Mill and 138 is now gone. That was one of the larger piles. And we're hoping that these piles as well, in the due time with the contract, will be removed before the depth of fire season, and we'll have a fire-safe environment down there.
So the main question is, when is the pile going to be gone? So what's going to end up happening is that as soon as the limited operating period comes to an end, which will be August 15th, very soon thereafter, or minutes after that, the contractor will be in there with his big equipment, and they'll be basically chipping those piles up and then hauling them away to another site. And then through the rest of the fall, those landings may be reused when the helicopters are picking up the smaller piles out in the woods and bringing them back to those landings. But there will be work constantly being done, and the contractor will be starting there middle of August to make sure that those things get taken care of.
With no budget or means to secure the slash sites, officials advise residents to report suspicious persons or activities seen on the forest by contacting appropriate fire and law enforcement personnel. This is Corinne Wetmore reporting for ROTW News.